we're going to get started with something that Diddy and his lawyers knew was coming down the pike eventually, and now it has happened. A new indictment, it's called a superseding indictment. It really replaces the original one that the federal prosecutors have filed against him. And the big headline here is that now they are saying there are two more victims.
A courtroom bombshell left Diddy visibly shaken. His attorney had no way to prepare for the footage that would change everything. Room fell silent. The judge barely had time to process the prosecution's words before Diddy's face drained of color. His legal team scrambled, whispering in hushed tones, but there was no stopping it. Now, the moment the prosecution announced they had video evidence featuring a teenage Justin Bieber, the energy in the room shifted.
Sean Diddy Combs reportedly underwent treatment in a hospital as he continues to await trial on trafficking charges. According to Page 6, the 55-year-old was transported from Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, federal prison where he was sent following his September arrest, late January 30th, to undergo an MRI and was then soon returned to police custody later that night.
This wasn't just another lawsuit or allegation. It was something different. For the first time, the man who built an empire of confidence, power, and untouchability looked genuinely afraid.
In the meantime, let's talk about the fact that Combs' co-defendant in a civil case, a case, by the way, that accuses him and his co-defendant, another A-lister, of rape. This guy is once again slamming the attorney behind the case, insisting that he be sanctioned for allegedly not doing his job. We're talking, of course, about Sean Carter, better known as Jay-Z, once again calling out attorney Tony Busby, calling out his character, more specifically into question, claiming that the Texas attorney's filings have, quote, substantial inaccuracies and that there was a failure to properly investigate before filing. Now, we've talked about this before, but basically, a civil lawsuit was filed against Sean Combs on behalf of a Jane Doe who says that she was raped by Combs and another celebrity at a home after the Video Music Awards in 2000. She said she was just 13 years old when this happened. And weeks after the initial filing, Busby submitted an amended complaint naming Jay-Z as the celebrity who allegedly participated in this assault.
But let's rewind for a moment. To understand why this moment was so devastating, you need to grasp the chaos that led to it. Once the king of hip-hop, Diddy Combs now finds himself fighting for his legacy, his freedom, and possibly his entire empire, amid multiple lawsuits and federal charges.
Those claims. Anyways, I want to also just show you this montage. This is a montage that was shared by Evie Magazine. They do great work on their TikTok of Justin Bieber, again, just 15 years old, in Hollywood, surrounded by a bunch of adults. And you let me know if any of this registers to you as normal. Take a listen.
I feel violated right now. Wow.
Lean into me again. You smell amazing. How old are you?
Thank you.
How old are you?
I'm 16. I'll be 17 in like 2 weeks.
I don't ever remember smelling that good at 16. Like that was bad.
Yeah.
Wow, look at your eyes. Look at what a beautiful face. All right.
For years, people speculated about Diddy's strange influence over the young pop star, Justin Bieber. But after Diddy's arrest in September, fans began connecting the dots. Why was Bieber always around him as a kid? Why did Diddy speak about their time together like it was a secret rite of passage? Then came the resurfaced footage, an old clip from 2009 that quickly started circulating online. In it, Diddy boasts about spending 48 hours with a 15-year-old Bieber. What we're doing, we can't really disclose, Diddy grins at the camera. But it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream. Bieber, sitting beside him, plays along, adding, "Let's just go get some girls."
Justin Bieber turned 15, and it suddenly seemed that Hollywood was keen to almost initiate him. I think that's the right word. Like there was almost like this initiation that he needed to go through. So I want you to be now super uncomfortable and watch this video of an interaction between him and none other than Diddy. Take a listen.
Justin, he's in, you ever seen the movie 48 Hours? Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the time of their lives, like you know, where we hanging out and what we doing. We can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream. I have been given custody of him. He signed to Usher. I had legal guardianship of Usher when he did his first album. I did Usher's first album. I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me. So and we gonna go full crazy.
At the time, it seemed like an odd exchange between a powerful mogul and his young protege. But after the allegations against Diddy exploded, that clip began to look much more sinister in hindsight.
So young Justin Bieber, who was signed by Usher, involved with Scooter Braun, now all of a sudden he's being put in the hands of Diddy, who, it is true, he became the legal guardian for Usher. You can look up all of the allegations of what Diddy did to Usher. A lot of this coming out via multiple lawsuits that essentially, if we were to put it in a nice context, or at least use a euphemism for something that's really disgusting, the allegations are essentially that Diddy very much initiated Usher into Hollywood. And as we are going through these lawsuits and Diddy is in prison, we're recognizing that everybody knew. This was an open secret about what Diddy was doing. So it just begs the question, who allowed Justin Bieber to be in the presence of this man, knowing what he was up to, allegedly up to? That seems to be very clear, that there is some veracity to those claims.
Then the unthinkable happened. In the courtroom, a prosecution attorney presented a video evidence so significant that Diddy's legal team immediately objected, but it was too late. The judge allowed the footage to be shown.
Now, the defense wanted copies of these videos handed over to them. Not just the ability to view them at, the prosecution's office. They wanted copies of these videos for themselves. And I've talked to lawyers about this before. There's a big advantage to having the electronic video, the electronic evidence yourself, right? You don't have to always go over to the other office. You can view the materials on your own. It's a way to better prepare for your defense. And Sean Combs' lawyers argued that under the federal rules of criminal procedure, if the defendant asks for it, the government has to give a defendant the opportunity to inspect and to copy electronic data that is in the government's possession. Judge Subramanian denied the defense's motion to amend the protective order, but without prejudice, meaning this issue could be revisited. So Subramanian's order reads, quote, while the government objects to handing the videos over, they provide several options for a defendant to consider that would permit the defense to view the videos, access the information they're looking for, and even allow them to manipulate the videos as they see fit.
For years, Bieber has dodged questions about his early career, his mentors, and the industry figures that shaped him. But ever since Diddy's legal troubles began, Bieber has been making quiet moves that suggest he's distancing himself from his past.
Justin Bieber's got more on his mind than Diddy's arrest. A source telling ET the new dad's energy is going towards wife Haley and son Jack. And he's not focused on what is going on with Diddy or the allegations against him.
Combs allegedly planned and controlled the sex performances, which he called freak-offs.
The insider info coming after footage of Diddy and Justin resurfaced on social media. Videos show the disgraced media mogul alongside teenage Justin, with online sleuths speculating if, at the time, he subjected the pop star to his alleged freak-off.
For years, Bieber has dodged questions about his early career, mentors, and the industry figures who shaped him. But ever since Diddy's legal troubles began, Bieber has been making quiet moves, hinting at his desire to distance himself from his past.
Okay. Justin was signed when he was just 13 years old, and I should mention he was signed by Usher to a label that was owned jointly by both Scooter Braun and Usher, and he was considered Usher's protege. He has been described Usher as his mentor. Justin Bieber, is continuing the purge. He has now moved to unfollow Usher, okay, his original mentor. So this is a very big story. And the reason why we should discuss this and we should not diminish what is happening, it's not celebrity drama. This is actually the fall of Babylon that we are witnessing, Hollywood Babylon, that is.
First, Bieber unfollowed Usher. A small gesture, perhaps, but significant since Usher had introduced him to Diddy. Then, he cut ties with Scooter Braun, his longtime manager and the man who had been his protector in the industry, raising even more suspicion.
He did an interview back in 2020 with Zane Lowe. I think this was on Apple Music. And he was speaking about another young artist that was coming up, Billie Eilish, and Eilish. And he was basically speaking about how he wanted to protect her because she was now like another young person, a rising artist in the industry. And sort of out of nowhere, he became quite overcome with emotion. Take a listen.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely feel protective of her. It was hard for me being that young and being in the industry and not knowing where to turn, and everyone, telling me they love me and, just turn their back on me in a second. So yeah, it's hard because I want her to know that, she can count on me, but at the end of the day, I don't want her. I'm never going to force myself to be in a relationship with her. It has to be natural, right? So I just kind of, let her do her thing, and if she ever needs me, I'm going to be here for her. But yeah, just protecting those moments because people take for granted encounters, and
I'm not even kidding. Watching that clip makes me emotional because he is saying so much without really saying anything. Protect Billie Eilish from what? From who? What is he so concerned about when he sees this young person in the industry? What exactly did he go through? Well,
Fans began connecting the dots, and so did the prosecution. Diddy's legal troubles started with a single accusation. An aspiring musician, John Doe, claimed Diddy drugged and assaulted him at a 2015 after-party. But that was only the beginning.